Yeah, g'day YouTubers. Tinker O'Toole again here with another video. Today we're going to talk about Spur Sprocket, which is this one, and floating rim sprocket. Both drive the chain, but both wear a little bit different. So which one's better for wear? Well, I'll put a picture up. This is a Spur sprocket that's excessively worn, and this needs to be changed long time ago. This person has just ran it till it's almost disintegrated. Not the correct way to do it. And the next slide we'll put up is a floating rim sprocket that's worn too deep. So when they get before they get like that, or anywhere near like that, especially the Spur sprocket, that picture there, you need to change them. Now, interesting enough, when you look at the Spur sprocket like this there's three places that the chain touches, right? So, in this spot here, the drive link touches that spot right in the middle. And if you look closely, you'll see two marks on top here, one there and one there. That's where the tie strap touches. And when you place the chain on, the tie strap rests right in that little... Ever wondered why there was a little cutout section there? That's the reason why the tie strap sits on there. The drive link doesn't touch much at all. So we'll just have a look at... I had that on the wrong way, by the way. It actually goes that way. And when we go around in a clockwise direction, which is the way that it should go, the Spur sprocket touches here to push the chain forwards. So, as you can see, that's still quite serviceable. I put a bit of copper grease on mine. So there's certainly still life in that. Now, floating rim sprocket. These used to be on my MS170 and MS180, but I decided to take them off. For the reason being, the MS170 and MS180 has 6 teeth on it, and this has 7, which means that this is going to go much higher speed, which is not a really great idea. Okay, this one has got a little bit of wear on it. You can see it. So I changed that out. And if we to put the chain on and have a look at that, what happens where that wear is, I don't know whether we'll be able to see that, is where the front and where the two rivets are. If you have a look where the two rivets are, this is the toe and that's the heel. It's this part underneath here that sits either side of the slot, that little slot in the middle. You can see that? That's what causes this to wear out from here and here. It's driven exactly the same. It's the back. There's a little curve in there, which is like that shape there, and that touches that and pushes it forwards. So they both wear in different spots. Okay, which one's better? Which one lasts longer? Well, I think they roughly wear about the same. One might slightly last longer, but pretty hard. I don't know. I've never changed a dozen of them. I look at them and I never take any notice how long it was on there. I look at that and I go, that needs changing. And I just change it. Simple as that. I won't put a brand new chain on anything that looks like that. I'd still use that if I had a real old chain, right? So, yeah, I could keep that for an old chain or something. Always keep these parts just in case I want to abuse them on something else. But generally speaking, I throw them away. Well, if you look at all the homeowner saws, they're Spur Sprocket because they're cheaper. It's more expensive to manufacture something like this, right? So these are more expensive. You'll see the floating rim sprocket on all of the Pro saws. Now, to me, logic would tell me that if these wore out much quicker, they would use these. So I believe that the floating rim sprocket is the better choice because these don't cost a lot of money. That one's from Archer. Notice I go 375, they don't say 38. 375 is closer to 38, so yeah, 375. So the choice, and as you can see, I've got heaps of floating rim sprockets all over the place, all different sizes. We've even got a 0.325 9 tooth, 0.325 8 tooth, 404 in 7 tooth, and standard 3/8 in 7 tooth. Now here's a 3/8 in 8 tooth, right? And this is the most common one, 3/8 in 7 tooth. So yeah, they're fairly common too. Most of those are all aftermarket, 325 in 7 tooth. But I find out the aftermarket ones, a lot of them are Archer. They seem to be quite durable and they quite wear. So on the MS311, that's what that's off, right? I got the conversion kit and couldn't be happier. Conversion kit, I got it from Jono and Jono in Victoria, Ballarat. I think $37. And a floating rim sprocket's about $8. So pretty darn cheap to replace the floating rim sprocket. But this conversion here, as I said before, no point putting that on an MS170 because it really does increase the speed, which is all right for softwood, but an MS170 doesn't have a lot of power to start with, so I don't want to overload it by putting a larger tooth on there, because the standard one, as I said, is six tooth, and that's 7. 7's pretty common on most of your saws. You can go up faster speed. Let's just say you've got a very powerful saw like an MS660 and you're only running a 20-inch bar on it. Plenty of reserve horsepower there. You could quite easily run an 8 tooth and get much more higher speed, because you've certainly got the horsepower there to run a 30-inch bar at least, even 36-inch bar. So to put a 20-inch bar on, you could quite easily go to 8 tooth. Not a problem. Anyway, that's the difference between Spur Sprocket and floating rim sprocket. The tick box would be for the floating rim sprocket because they are so easy to replace and so cheap. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.